All right, today's lesson is lesson 4.5 on percent equations. So we're going to make equations and solve for percent. We're going to talk about percent markup and percent discount. Okay, so this is 4.5. All right, percent equation. What that is, a percent equation is a quick way to find out find a part of a whole quantity by multiplying. We're going to multiply the whole by the percent written as a decimal. I don't know if you guys forgot this already, but remember to write a percent as a decimal, we move it over 2 decimal places to the left. We'll practice that in a second. All right, so the equation is going to be part is equal to the whole times the percent written as a decimal, okay? The little dot that represents multiplication. You know this, okay? All right, first, reminder, to convert a percent to a decimal, we divide the percent by 100 or move the decimal to the left 2 places. Let's just do that. We don't need to do more than is necessary, okay? So remember, if you don't see the decimal, it's at the end. We move it 2 places, 1, 2. Now, 12% becomes 0.12, okay? So now we're going to multiply. So we take our 90, and I'm going to multiply by, and I'm going to use parentheses because I don't want the dot, like my decimal, to be confused with extra multiplication. Okay, so in your calculators, you take 90 times 0.12, and you get 10.8. That means that is 12% of 90. All right, now we're going to find 96% of 105. 96% as a decimal is 0.96. So let's start with our 175 times 0.96. We type that in our fancy little calculators, and we get 168. That means 158 is 96% of 175. All right, what is 27% of 28? All right, first off, we want to convert 27% to a decimal. 0.27, 28 times 0.27, that gives us 2.76. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm lying. It is not 2.76. It is 7.56. Please forgive me. All right, this next example, what is 48.5% of 300? All right, so let's turn this into a decimal. 0.485, 300 times 0.485, and we get 145.5. All right, that seems easy enough. Why don't you guys try 5 and 6? Pause the video and do 5 and 6 on your own to see if you get it. Okay, how'd you do? For number 5, did you get 2.76? That is 2% of 138. For number 6, did you get 201.5? If you did, give yourself a little thumbs up. Good job. Don't forget that when you're doing this, I need you to write stuff down on your homework. Even if you're doing it all in the calculator, I need to see some work if you want me to give you credit. All right, let's move on. Oh my gosh, to words. You guys love words. All right, Kate, first off, let's figure out what's going on here. So Kate spent 23% of her last paycheck on groceries. If she made $908, how much did she spend on groceries? So we first want to convert this to a decimal, right? 23% is 0.23. We're going to multiply that times her paycheck, 908. And we're going to see how much she spent on groceries. Now remember, we're talking about money, so it's really important that we label these numbers, okay? So when you type that in your little fancy calculator, 0.23 times 908 is $208.84. That's about how much I spend at the grocery store every week in real life. Okay, All right, number 8. Mark has only used 8.5% of a 34-ounce bottle of shampoo. Now, this is probably an unrealistic thing because no one really calculates 8.5% of their stuff. But if you have a question, it's really important to understand what it's asking. It wants to know how many ounces has he used. So he used 8.5% of his 34-ounce bottle. So we're going to turn 8.5% into a decimal, which is 0.085. And we're going to multiply that times that 34 ounces, and that's going to tell us how many ounces he used. All right, when I type that in, I get 2.89. Be sure to label your number, okay? We're talking about ounces, so put it in terms of ounces. You can write the word or use OZ. All right, number 9 is a little more in depth. So let's make sure we take our time. There were 80 golfers in the first round of a tournament. Of the 80, 62.5 qualified, 62.5% qualified for the next round. How many did not qualify? Okay, so first what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how many qualified. So 62.5% qualified out of the 80. So let's turn 62.5 into a decimal. So 0.625 times that 80. We're going to find out how many qualified first. All right, so then that gives us 50. So 50 players qualified. We simply subtract from the total amount of golfers that entered. So of the 80, 50 qualified. That means that 30 players did not qualify, or 30 golfers did not qualify. I always like to box on my answers so they're really clear. Okay, so that wasn't too bad, right? All right, Tom is a lawyer who makes $132,000 per year. If his legal assistant, Alec, made 53% of his salary, we can find Alec's salary. So he made 53% of Tom's salary. So let's get 53% turned into a decimal, 0.53. We're going to multiply that times the 132,000. We're going to figure out how much we're talking about. And we are talking about money, so make sure you label your number. All right, so when you plug in your calculator, 0.53 times 132,000, Alec got a salary of $69,960. That's a legal assistant. I don't know if that's real, but that's pretty good money to be an assistant. More than what I make. I'm in the wrong job, y'all. All right. Hopefully that made sense. Wasn't too terrible. 9 was a little tricky. Just make sure you're answering the question and understanding what it's asking. Don't get all weird on me and like, oh, I see words I have to give up. All right. Now let's talk about discount and markup, because this is something we're definitely, you're all going to be consumers, right? You're all going to be buying something at some point if you're not already doing so. All right, so discount and markup. Stores frequently discount or mark up items. Discounts are subtracted. Let me put that in red. They are subtracted. A discount is money off. So a discount is subtracted from the original price, and a markup is adding. Often what stores will do, they will mark up the cost right around Christmas time because people are out shopping, so they're going to try to make as much money as possible. Then the last thing is the selling price or the sale price. So the selling price is how much the consumer ends up paying. That's called the selling price. Okay, sometimes there's tax involved, and sometimes there's tipping, and that might not be included in the selling price. You'll have to add that on in the end, but we'll do a couple of examples, okay? Oh, tax and tips at the end. What am I doing? I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, first make sure we read the directions. Find the discount and markup for each, then find the final selling price. We want to round to the nearest cent. Remember, when you round to the nearest cent, that is the nearest, that's the hundredth place. That's 2 decimal places to the right. Be careful about rounding, okay? So first off, we already know how to calculate the percent of an item. We just did that. So first we want to turn 15% into a decimal, so 0.15. We're going to multiply that times these $58 jeans, and we're going to find out what the discount is. That is $8.70. So the discount is $8.70. And it's dollars, $8.70. To find the selling price, we're going to subtract because that's what we do with discounts. So we take our $58 and we're going to subtract $8.70, and that's going to give us a grand total of $49.30. So the selling price, this is pre-tax, $49.30, which is better than $58, right? All right, so notice that this says off here. So that should give you a clue that we're talking about discount, just like in number 2. So the tablets are $492. They are 20% off. So 0.2 times 492, it gives us 98.40. So the discount cost is $98.40. That's how much I'm going to take off of the price. So the original item was $492. We're going to subtract out our discount, $98.40. And that's going to give us a grand total of $393.60. And I put my final answer down and make sure I use an undersign. Okay. It's pretty hard for me to talk and look at the same time. All right. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you think you can do number 3 and 4? Yes, Mrs. Garcia, I do. I miss you. But I'm here. I'm here. All right, so 3 and 4, these are just like 1 and 2. What you want to do is first calculate the discount, and you want to figure out the selling price by subtracting from the original price. So pause the video and see if you get them right. All right, check your work. So for number 3, the discount, first off, it was 60% off. That's a really good sale. So you were able to take off $177.29, making your selling price for that bicycle that was originally $295. It was almost $300. You got it for $117.20. Number 4, the sale wasn't as great. It was only 5%, so that meant the discount was $4.50. When I take that off the original cost, the selling price is $85.49. All right, so that's discount. Not terrible, not too much. I think you can handle it. Now let's talk about markup, all right? Markup's just mean. Wedding dresses, that's something they make tons of money because people will spend sick amounts of money just to look beautiful like a princess. All right, so this wedding dress is $625, but they're gonna mark it up 3%. All right, and maybe markup is a positive thing. Maybe you own the store and you want to make that money. Okay, so we still do the same thing. Let's figure out the percentage, right? Turn that into a decimal, 0.03. We're going to multiply that times the original cost, $625. So 3% of $625 is $18.75. I'm going to mark up this item, $18.75, which means I'm going to add the original cost, $625, plus my $18.75. When I add that together, that makes it $643.75. So the selling price is $643.75. Okay, now we got a sofa. And this is a real thing. I will tell you, there's a lot of markup in furniture and used cars, so So you can bargain with these folks. Don't let them fool you. First off, let's calculate the markup. This item is marked up 40%. 40% is a decimal is 0.4. And you could add the 0 afterwards, but I'm just saying maybe I don't want to do that. All right, we're going to multiply that times the cost of the sofa right now. Make sure you include the entire cost. Okay, so 40% of $1,490.95 is $596.38. All right, that's how much this is being marked up, $596.38. So the selling price, we're just simply gonna add this markup to the total cost. So 1490.95 plus 596.38. When I add that together, that gives me a total cost of $2,087.33. That is the selling price, $2,087.33. That is a pretty expensive sofa. All right, your turn. Now, number 7 is about a digital camera that's $250 and it's got a 12% markup. Okay, calculate the markup and then add it to the original cost and get your selling price. Then for number 8, it's a cell phone, $559.78. It must be one of the cheap phones at Dollar General because no phone is that cheap anymore. And this phone is marked up 25%. So pause the video and you see if you got what it takes. All right, number 7, markup was $30. That makes the selling price $280 for that digital camera. And for number 8, talking about the cell phone, the markup was $148.95. Now the selling price is $744.74. That's a little more realistic. These cell phones are so expensive, it's crazy. All right, talking about sales tax and tips. Sales tax is a percentage that is added to the selling price, okay? So we're gonna put in, we're adding, so it's added to the selling price. A tip is a percentage that's added to the total bill. That's added on, right? Tipping is not just a city in China. We often tip for a lot of things. I even tip out for takeout food sometimes. So I just add it on to the total cost. All right, so we're gonna have to do a little math about it. Not a big deal. Let's turn over on the last side. I know these notes are a little longer today, but it's important, so hopefully you're doing a good job writing them down. All right, so number 9 says find the final price of an $849.99 laptop with 6% sales tax. And 6% sales tax is the tax in Pennsylvania, in case you weren't aware. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing we've been doing. We're gonna multiply. We're gonna turn that into a decimal, 0.06. And we're going to multiply that times 849 and figure out what the tax is, all right? We're simply calculating the tax. When I multiply that together, that gives me 51. We are talking about money, so that is like $51, right? So I'm going to add that on. So 849.99 plus my $51 tax, it gives us a grand total of $900.99. That is crazy. All right. Number 10, find the final price of a $325 lacrosse stick with a sales tax of 7.25%. Calculate the sales tax as a decimal. So we have 0.0725. We're going to multiply that to the cost of the stick, which is $325. This is going to tell us how much sales tax is on this item. This might be sales tax in a city. Some cities have different rates than the state, which is kind of funky stuff. All right, so $23.56 is how much tax is going to be on this lacrosse stick. We're going to add that together. 325 plus $23.56. That gives us a grand total of $348.56. And hopefully my calculations are right and I'm not making any mistakes. I'm trying my best. All right. So that's sales tax, right? We add it on. Now, again, as we do, the problems get a little increasingly more complicated. So let's make sure we slow down and we pay attention to what the question's asking us. All right. So right now, for number 11, it says a $105 watch is selling for 30% off. Okay, so it has a discount. Then we need to find the price of the watch if the sales tax is 8%. So we actually have to do 2 things here. First, let's figure out how much the cost of the watch is because it's 30% off. So we just did discount, so 0.3, right, that's 30% as a decimal, times 105. That's going to give us $31.50. We're gonna take that off of the cost of the watch. The watch is $105. We're taking off $31.50. So now the watch is $73.50. Okay, so now I'm gonna just put a little line here. So this is just the selling price of the watch. Now let's find the total price because we have to figure out the tax. So $73.50 times the sales tax, which is 8%. 0.08. That's 8%. We are just finding the tax here. So when I multiply 73.50 times 8%, that gives me $5.88. Right? We add tax onto the total. 73.50 plus 588 gives us a grand total of $79. Right? Use your dollar sign. $79.38. All right, so it's like putting it all together, right? We found the sale price of the watch, then we calculated the tax, and now we know the total cost. All right, I want you to do the same thing for number 12. It is literally, well, it's not exactly, but it's pretty much the same thing, okay? So it's a $125 DVD player is selling for 10% off, right? Got a discount. Then you're gonna find the final price of the DVD player if the sales tax is 5.5%. Okay, so you're gonna have to do two separate things. Find the sale price, then calculate the tax. Pause the video, because I know you can copy what I'm writing, but I wanna know you know what you're doing. Do you know what you're doing? That's what you're finding out. All right, did you get number 12 right? Did you get that the sales cost was $112.50? And then we calculated the tax was $6.19? And be careful about these tax rates, right? Remember, we move it 2 decimal places over, so it's 5.5% is 0.055. Okay, that's written as a decimal. Then you add the tax together to your sale price, and you get, walking out the door, $118.69. All right, we only got 3 more to go here. I think we can do it. All right, number 17, Kathy bought a $76 dress at 33% off and a $52 pair of shoes at 15% off. If the sales tax is $6.75, I'm sorry, 6.75%, how much did she pay in total? So now we actually have to do like 3 different things, okay? So let's first talk about the dress. All right, the dress was $76 and 33% off. So 33% is 0.33. We're going to multiply that times the $76 dress, and that is going to give us $25.08 is coming off the cost of the dress. So let's just subtract that right away. 76 minus 25.08 gives us a grand total of $50.92 for the dress. That's how much the dress costs. All right, so this is the dress. All right, let's now figure out how much the shoes are. Okay, so the shoes are $52, but they're 15% off. 15% as a decimal is 0.15. Right, we're going to multiply that times the $52 pair of shoes. That's going to give us a discount of $7.80. So take the cost of the shoes minus your discount, and that means the sale price of the shoes are $44.20. These are the shoes, okay? What we need to do is we actually need to add these 2 numbers together. We need to take the sale price of the dress and the sale price of the shoes and add them together so we can calculate the tax. So 50.92 plus 44.20 gives us a total of $95.12. That is what I have to pay tax on. So we take that $95.12 times the tax rate. Oh my gosh, where's the tax rate? Right here. So written as a decimal, 0.0675. When I multiply $95.12 times my tax rate, that means the tax is $6.42. Not terrible. All I need to do is add that together, right? So 95.12, because we always add tax on to the total. So that gives us a grand total of And make sure you use your dollar sign. $101.54. So that was for the shoes and the dress and the tax. Boom, done. That's not the best, but it's not the worst either. All right, now we're going to talk about tipping, okay? Gratuities, really important. Average gratuity is 20%, but with inflation, I think it should go up a little bit, like 25 to 30% if you have a really good server or someone who's waiting on you. All right, so for number 14, for parties of 6 or more, and this is actually true, this does happen a lot in restaurants, restaurants add an automatic 20% gratuity. Gratuity is another word for a tip. If the dinner bill for a large party comes to $148.25, which is quite cheap, find the total dinner bill with tip. Okay, so this is the bill that they gave them, and then they're going to add on 20% gratuity. So we turn 20% into a decimal, 0.2, and we multiply that times the bill. This is going to give us the tax. The tip. $29.65. Right? So to find what the total dinner bill is, we're going to add the tip onto the cost of the dinner. So 148.95 plus 29.65. It gives us a grand total of $177.90. I guess that's about right. That's close to how much it costs for me to take my family out to dinner. We're a family of 5. All right. I hope you guys are getting the hang of this. This isn't terribly hard to do, and it's real life stuff. Like, money is important, so you want to be able to keep track of your money. All right, let's look at the last one here. Greg and Elena went out for dinner. The dinner bill came to $68.89. If they had a $10 coupon and left a 15% tip, how much did they pay in total? All right, first off, coupon. I'm a super huge fan of coupons. Coupons like a discount. We're going to subtract that right off the top. So take $68.89 and subtract this $10 coupon. That gives us a bill of $58.89, okay? Well, $58.89 is what they're leaving a tip on. The percentage that they're leaving as a tip is 15%. Kind of cheap, I'm not going to lie, okay? So we know we have to multiply this to find the percent. 15% as a decimal is 0.15. When I multiply that together, that means my tip is $8.83. So the total bill is adding the tip with our new total. So $58.89 plus $8.83. That gives us a grand total of $67.72. And I guess maybe the coupon led that they were a little cheap, but I think coupons are great, but leaving a cheap tip is not great. All right. If you have any questions, send me a message on Schoology. I have my phone on me always, and I will be glad to help and assist in any way that I can. Make sure you check for my response, because I do respond. All right, you guys have a great day and have an awesome weekend. Bye.